Namaskar. So here we are. Once more talking to you. It's nice to see you. Almost once in say 4 days, 3 days, 5 days. Okay. Yeah, so today's subject, I don't know whether you like the subject, but it's an important subject. The subject I've chosen today is Beyond the Known, and the subtitle is Upanishads. I didn't want to put the Upanishads first because people were like, oh, what Upanishads? Somebody said the other day, I saw one teacher saying, do you know the Upanishad? Why should you know the Upanishad? I am there. So I'm not like that. We need the Upanishads. So, but then it's better to start from this point, which is, what do I mean by beyond the known? I'll come back to the Upanishad. See, look. The rishis of the Upanishads are trying to look at the absolute truth. They are not looking at relative truths. You are sitting here, I am sitting here, there is a camera, there is the light. These are all relative truths. Why are they relative truths? Because they don't last forever. They are here today and they are gone tomorrow. In 10 minutes, 15 minutes off. So that's relative. They are talking about absolute reality, which is the whole process that we go through in life to find out what it is all about. This is the absolute. Now, is it possible to define that with our known criteria? This is the question. We have a known criteria, like we see this world with our eyes. We see a multiple world. We can define it in our own way. What happens to something which is not concretely available to us through our senses? If you cannot reach it through the senses, is it that it does not exist? That's the question. And if you cannot reach it through the senses, all our knowledge that we have is dependent on the senses, on the brain, on the data that is collected by the senses and processed by the mind. So the Upanishads say that cannot touch the truth. Why? Because it's not that which can be defined in words, defined related to the experiences we have with our 5 senses, which are relative and imperfect very often. And therefore, if it is perfect and it is supreme and if it is beyond, then it must be beyond all kinds of knowledge that we normally think we can reach something with. They said then, in fact, if I say this, people might say, oh, he is now spouting Krishnamurti. Or because Krishnamurti, there's one very famous talk called freedom from the known. Yes? But what I want to say is, yeah, Krishnamurti might have said it. Somebody else might have said it. But I'm saying it now. What I'm trying to say, I'm not a Krishnamurtite or anything of that kind. What I'm trying to say is that it's nothing new. The same thing which I said just now in modern language, which Krishnamurti might have said, of course, or somebody else might have said, or somebody else might have known but not said, is there 1,000 years ago in the Upanishads. This is what I'm trying to. I'm not saying that because it is in the Upanishad it must be true. No. I'm also not trying to say that because it is not there in the Upanishad, it is not true. I'm not saying either. All I am trying to say is that it has already been thought about, discussed and understood by the ancient rishis, and it's there in the Upanishad. If you look at it, all I'm saying is people will think, oh, this is all new kind of philosophy, this is all spouting Krishna. No, this is the essence of the Upanishad. This is why I said, beyond the known, Upanishads. So now we'll go to the Upanishad. This time I'm going to actually take the book and read out to you. Look, yogis need glasses after the age of 70. So, first let me come to one Upanishad. I have my old Upanishads here. Where do I go first? Okay. I go to the Mundaka Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad, section 1. Here they are talking about the knowledge of the Supreme Brahman. There is a introductory Om Bhadram Karne Vishnayam Devaha. This all means protect my limbs, protect, etc. etc. It doesn't matter, they are Shanti mantras. So here our important thing here comes, what we are talking about is, you want me to look at you? Okay. Mundaka Upanishad, section 1, third sloka. If you have Upanishad, check. Shaunako Havai Mahashalo Angirasam Vidhivat Upasannaha Paprachaha Kasmin Nu Bhagavo Vijñate Sarvam Midam Vijñatam Bhavati iti. Question. What is that? Shaunaka, the great householder, approached Angirasa, the great rishi. In fact, Krishna, son of Devaki, is supposed to have considered Angirasa as his guru, as his teacher. Shaunaka approached Angirasa and asked a very important question. He said, Kasmin nu bhagavo vijñate sarvamidam vijñatam bhavati iti. He asked him, Venerable Sir, please tell me, through what being known does all this become known? Through knowing what do you know everything? Who asked? Shaunaka asked the great Sri Angirasa, Kasminno bhagavo vijñate sarvamidam vijñatam bhavati iti. So, how did Angirasa answer him? This is the question. So he asked about knowledge, right? So Angirasa said, okay, according to me, there are two kinds of knowledge. Tasmai sahovacha, he said, Angirasa said, his words were, Dve vidye vedatve itiha sma yad brahma vido vadanti para cha apara cha. So Angirasa said, I am saying this to him, he said, according to me, there are two kinds of knowledge. The knowers of Brahman, of the Supreme, declare that there are two kinds of knowledge, the higher knowledge as well as the lower knowledge. Para vidya, vidya is knowledge, apara vidya, that which is lower knowledge. Then he went on to explain of these, of higher knowledge and lower knowledge, para vidya and apara vidya. Let me first tell you the lower knowledge, that which is lower. And he gives the list like this. Tatra apara vidya. What? Rigvedo yajurvedaha, samavedo atharvana vedaha, siksha kalpo vyakaranam niruktam chando jyotisham. This is the lower knowledge. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvana Veda, which means even the Upanishads. All the Upanishads are derived, they are all lower knowledge. I am not saying this, please check your Mundaka Upanishad. Shruti. Apara Vidya is included in all this. So does it mean that you shouldn't study it? No. If you don't study it, how do you know it? At least that there is a standard by which you can find out. So unless you read, you won't know. But when you read, you should understand and let it go. So this is the lower knowledge. Then Shaunaka, of course, is wondering, so what is higher knowledge? He has put everything into it. What all? He has put all the four Vedas, of which Upanishads are included. Phonetics, that means other rituals, grammar, etymology, metrics, astronomy. Now please, translate Jyotisham is not astrology, astronomy. These are the Veda Angas, these limbs of the Veda. Even these are lower knowledge. What is higher knowledge? iti atha parayaya tad aksharam adhigamyate. That only can be called the higher knowledge by which the undecaying Supreme is apprehended. All other knowledges. So why I am quoting this is because we are going beyond knowledge. So beyond all these, if there is a knowledge which can take you to that which is the supreme undecayable, that alone is real knowledge. Paravidya. Okay. We will leave it there at the moment. Okay. Let me see one more sloka and then we will leave it here. And that Supreme Being, imperishable being, knowing which everything else is known and which can only be known by aparavidya, which is not included in any of these, that Supreme Brahman is yattad adrishyam, agrahyam, agotram, avarnam, achakshushotram, tad apanibadam, nityam vibhum sarvagatam shukshmam, tad avyayam yad bhutayonim paripashyanti dhira. And that which we seek, that knowledge, is ungraspable. Then how do you grasp it? When you say ungraspable, adrishyam, then when you say adrishyam, then can we grasp it through any knowledge? No. Then adrishyam, agrahyam, which cannot be understood, agotram, which has no family, avarnam, which has no caste, achakshutshotram tad apanipadam, it has no sight, through hearing, nor with hands and feet can we go there. Means we can't walk to it. Nityam vibhum sarvagatam sukshmam, eternal, all-pervading, omnipresent, sukshmam, extremely subtle. That is the undecaying. Tat avyayam yad bhutayonim paripashyanti dhira. That is the undecaying, which is the source of all that we have here, which the wise saw. So we are tongue-tied, we don't know what to do now. What are we going to do? So now, I am going to another Upanishads to kind of support, not support, to discuss this matter. The Upanishads are huge, so I don't want to go into, we have a short talk here. There is the great Ishavasya Upanishad. Okay. So, Ishavasya Upanishad begins by saying, Ishavasya idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat, which means that supreme reality, again, that which we seek in the Mundaka also, is all-pervading. There is no place where it is not there. So, two questions arise. If it is there, no place where it is not there, why are we not seeing it? Two, if it is everywhere, then how can we go towards it? Second question. If something is here and something is there, you can go towards it. How can I go towards something which is here? Now to describe that, in the fourth sloka of the Ishavasya Upanishad, it says, Aneja degam manaso javiyo nayana deva apnuvan purvamarshad tadvavato anyan natyeti tishtat tasmin napo matarishva dadhati. That spirit is unmoving, but it is swifter than the wind. It's a contradiction. It's unmoving, yet it's swifter than the wind. Senses can never reach it. Why? Because it is always ahead of them. Then, tadbhavato anyan atyeti, though itself standing, It outstrips all who run. It's standing. But you cannot run. However fast you run, it outstrips all that you can run, which means the mind, the senses, whatever reach it goes to, it still cannot grasp it. So what? When all grasping ceases, perhaps, we'll go to that. Then, tadyejati tannejati taddure tadvatantike tad antarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bahyata. It moves and it does not move. It is far and it is near. It is within all this and yet it is also outside all this. Now what do we do? Can we in our usual way find something which is like this? Okay, why? The 9th sloka of the same section, it says, Andham tama pravishanti yo vidyayam upasate. Andham tama pravishanti yo avidyayam upasate. Tato bhuyayivate tamo yau vidyayam rata. Into blinding darkness enter those who worship ignorance. Then everybody say, yeah, but we are not ignorant. We are knowledgeable people, we are not ignorant. So we are not entering into darkness, into blinding darkness. And the next second part of the same sloka, Tato bhuya yivate tamo yau vidyayam ratha. And those who delight in knowledge enter into still greater darkness, as it were. Which means it cuts off all knowledge at one shot. Saying that if you are ignorant, maybe you are in darkness, but when you have knowledge, you are entering into greater darkness. You cannot find the reality there. Then what happens? Hands tied, tongues tied. I want to shift, but why is it said like that? Because when you say knowledge, we are thinking of how do I get knowledge of something? I don't know about this pair of spectacles. Suppose I am seeing it for the first time, I don't know anything about it. Then I take it and I examine it, I understand it, and I say, oh, this is a pair of spectacles, and I remember it, and it goes into my memory and stays there, so that next time I see this, that kabhi hold there wherever it is opens and oh, this is a spectacle, because I remember it. So before I knew it, there was no knowledge. Once I know it, it becomes a memory. When it becomes a memory, it is stored somewhere. Anything that becomes a memory and is stored somewhere has to be in the past. You can't think of a present memory. Is there a present memory? All memories are past. Therefore, since all our knowledge is based on this technique of understanding, remembering, storing, and when I say I know it, it means I can at any time remember it from my memory, which means all modes of knowledge are stored in the memory, therefore stored in the past. And if they are stored in the past, they cannot be the truth, because truth is in the present. Isha Vasham, idam sarvam, now, not afterwards or before. So it has to be now. It has to be in the present. It cannot be something which can be labeled and remembered and put back and revived. Then it becomes a memory. Then it's in the past, and the truth is always there in the present. Idam sarvam. Here, now, here and now. Therefore, the Upanishad says, if you think I have knowledge of it, you are going into darkness, man. You cannot have knowledge of it. When you understand the fact that you don't have knowledge of it, perhaps a little glimmer of understanding comes. Then there is also no pride of knowledge, because all the so-called knowledge that is not worth a single penny, because that which we really want cannot be known through it. Then we are clear. Then we come to the great Kena Upanishad from the Samaveda. Here, it's starts by asking the question, who is the real one? Who is the essence of everything that is there? Keneshidam vadati prasidam manaha. What commanded the mind to move first? How does the first thought occur? Where does it come from? And then it goes on to say, which is better than not saying, Shotrasya Shrotram Manaso Mana Yat Vacho Kavacham Sahu Pranasya Prana. That essence is the ear of the ear. It's better than saying nothing actually. The mind of the mind, the speech of the speech, the breath of the breath, the eye of the eye, and Pratyasma Loka Chakshu Atimuchya Dhira Pratyasma Lokat Amrita Bhavanti. The wise giving up all the wrong notions of self-sufficiency. The ego which says, I know, departing from this world become immortal. And that reality, na tatra chakshur gacchati, the vak gacchati, no mana, na vidmo na vijanimo yathe tad anushishyad. The teacher is saying, I don't know how to teach this to you. Why? Because eye does not go there, the speech does not go there, nor does the mind. No mana. And anya devatat vidita tatho avidita tadhi iri shushruma purvesham yanastat vyaja chakshire. It is that which is other than the known, which means anything that you know cannot be that. Here. But you cannot say it is unknown because it is above the unknown. Because if it's really unknown, then it is futile, everything else. It is known, but it cannot be known through the known, beyond the known. And then the rishi quickly adds, thus we have heard from the ancients who have explained it to us, saying that I don't know, this is what the ancients have said. Idi shushruma purvesham yanastat vyaja chakshire. This is what they have, these are their words. And therefore, can it be talked, discussed, understood? Can I talk, describe it? No. I am trying to tell you the futility of listening to me right now. What does the fifth sloka says? Yad vacha anabhyutitam yanavag abhyutyate tadeva brahmatvam vidvi nedam yadidam upasate. That which cannot be expressed or taught through speech, but that by which the quality of speech is expressed. That alone is the Brahman, the Supreme Being. Nedam yad idam upasate. Nothing that you worship here or adore here. Yan manasa namanyute yadahur manomatam tadeva brahmatvam vidvi nedam yadidam upasate. That which cannot be thought of by the mind, but by which they say the mind gets the capacity to think. That is the Brahman, not anything that you adore here. That's a big statement. And so on and so on. And then says the Rishi, Yadi manyase suvedeti dabram evapi nunam tvam vetta brahmano rupam yadasya tvam yadasya deveshu athanu maimamsyam yavate manya viditam. If you think you have understood that Supreme Brahman well, you don't know it. You know it very slightly. Whether you or the gods. If the gods say we know that well, no, they don't know. So then it is to be investigated by you, by saying, I think I know. I'm not sure. Naham manye suvedeti nona vedati vedacha yanastad veda tad veda nona vedeti vedacha. I do not think that I know it well, nor do I think that I do not know it. He who among us knows it, and he too does not know that he does not know. To whomsoever it is not known, to whom it is understood. To whomsoever it is known, he does not know. It is not understood by those who understand it. It is understood by those who do not understand it. Yasya matam tasya matam matam yasya na vedasa avijñātam vijñātam vijñātam avijñātam. So, what happens? Too much Sanskrit. So what happens? When you understand this fact that no empirical knowledge or no ordinary modes of learning which is linear, going from here till there to find out, this works here and is possible here. When the pride of your knowledge has been completely defeated, knowing that this is something which I cannot place, when you know that even words cannot describe it, therefore it's futile to add words upon words and make it literary. When all this is understood, and when the mind knows that it is here and therefore you don't have, even if you run, your mind runs, it overtakes your mind. And then when you understand this, what happens? There is no way, you give up. There is no reaching, there is no moving. Suddenly you say, hi, that's it. You got it. You don't know. And if you got it, you will not be able to say to somebody what it is, but you will know it. That is the meaning of the Upanishad when it says, he who knows, knows, and he knows not, does not know. And yet, if you think you know it, you don't know it, because it cannot be translated or explained or delineated in any of the known modes of expression or knowledge. So, when all reaching and all grasping and all ego is gone, in that silence, perhaps, so say the ancients, it reveals itself. Iti Sushrama Purvesham, so say the ancients, it reveals itself. And when it reveals itself, there is nothing more to know. It's over, done with. Chapter close, life open. Thank you very much. Namaskar.